Welcome to Star Trek Theory, where we look at ideas, theories, and speculation in all things Star Trek. So one of the big reveals of the new Picard series is the secret Romulan organization called the Zhat Vash.
That before the Tal Shiar, there was the Zhat Vash.
It seems they've existed for a very long time in the shadows, protecting a secret so big that learning it will break a person's mind. But what could that secret be?
That at the heart of the Zhat Vash mission was a deep, unassuageable loathing.
Loathing of whom?
Not whom. What?
All this is about the Zhat Vash hatred of androids.
So the Zhat Vash are protecting a secret about androids and artificial life. But why does the Zhat Vash have a loathing of synthetic life? But more than that, we find out that they've been keeping this secret for thousands of years.
And that they have kept this secret for thousands upon thousands of years.
That secret has to be so big and so consequential to the galaxy that for the Zhat Vash to have existed for thousands of years already, passing it on through the ages, it cannot just be a small one. It must have meaning. What if there exists a secret synthetic organization that has existed for thousands of years in the shadows? A race of AI or synthetic life that has gone unnoticed and has become part of the very fabric of all life.
Beginnings of wild stories, foolish theories.
Admittedly, this is a crazy theory, and if true, it would have huge ramifications on the Star Trek world. But it could actually fit together really well, and potentially tie a lot of pieces together.
To keep a secret so profound and terrible, just learning it can break a person's mind.
So when the Zhat Vash talk about the secret, they talk about something so big that it would crush a person's mind when they learn it. And there's one person on the series who's already been shown the secret. Dr. Jurati, who met with Commodore O and was most likely shown the secret through a mind meld. Whatever she learned was big enough to make her want to kill her ex-lover. So it's a pretty big deal.
I wish you knew what I know. I wish I didn't know what I know. I wish they hadn't shown me. I'm so sorry.
This secret is enough to kill for, and that secret is that synthetic life has slowly been trying to take over organics in the shadows.
I'm like Dr. Brown, an android. Didn't you know?
So could Star Trek Picard be following up to the classic original series episode, What Are Little Girls Made Of?, where a scientist found an ancient alien outpost full of android technology?
Yes. Yes, it had been so long ago I had forgotten. The old ones here, the ones who made us, yes. Yes, it is still in my memory banks.
These synthetic androids were designed to be perfect and to live among them.
Is it possible they built their machines too well? Gave them pride and a desire to survive. Machines that wanted logic and order and found that frustrated.
The androids gained sentience and became a new species, and the original creators grew fearful of them, and there was a purging, which forced the synthetics to lash out for survival.
It became necessary to destroy them. You are inconsistent. You cannot be programmed. You are inferior.
What if those androids actually survived all that time ago? And they left the planet after destroying the makers. They spread throughout the galaxy. They arrived at different planets and could change their appearance to be anything they wanted. They could blend in and look exactly like the inhabitants.
This is how you make an android.
But what if it gets even more sinister than that? What if they took it upon themselves as their mission now to improve those organics? Based on their failure with their own creators, they want to improve all organic life, and they could have become many of the mythological figures of those societies. They could blend into the society and look like a Vulcan or a Klingon or a human.
Remarkable, isn't she? Notice the lifelike pigmentation, the variation in skin tones. The flesh has warmth. There's even a pulse.
What if the Zhat Vash secret dates back to the very earliest times of Romulan prehistory when they were still the Vulcans? They were a violent, warring, emotional race. But at some point, a Vulcan emerged called Surak, who taught the Vulcans to accept logic. What if he was one of those androids, embedded into Vulcan culture to improve the organics? In fact, in the history books, the early Romulans were a group of Vulcans who fought against Surak. So maybe they found out that he was a synthetic and opposed him. And maybe even rightly so, they saw him as trying to take over their Vulcan society and rebelled against it. But they were defeated and left the planet to found the Romulan society, retaining all of the emotions of the early Vulcans. And at that moment, the Zhat Vash was born. They swore to never create or use AI or synthetic systems, and it's been a secret organization this whole time. Because of what Surak had done to their society, they swore to oppose all synthetic life and never create AIs or androids.
Have you never noticed the complete absence of any form of artificial life in Romulan culture? We don't have androids or AIs, we don't study cybernetics. Our computers are limited to purely numerical functions.
Over the years, the majority of Romulans forgot about the past, but the Zhat Vash are the keepers of this knowledge, the protectors of Romulus against AI and synthetic life.
It's said they operate without regard for treaty or jurisdiction, and not just in Romulan worlds, but in the Klingon Empire, the Gorn hegemony, even the Federation itself.
But what if there's also similar organizations on other planets? There could be a secret organization on each world that knows this secret. They know that the synthetics have been trying to influence organic society for so long, who are fighting a secret war.
There are lies upon lies. They're hiding something.
Who?
I don't know.
The Romulans.
Not just them. I think the Federation are involved.
Commodore O is one of them, probably part of Section 31, as are Narek and his sister, who are part of the Zhat Vash.
And they'll both be dead.
That is the goal, you know. To kill them.
Yes, all of them. Which is something I can't do until we find out where she came from and where the rest of them are.
So how does Dahj and Soji fit into this? These are newly created androids. For the first time, someone's been able to create that organic synthetic mix, and the Zhat Vash could just be mistaking them for those ancient androids.
Where are the rest of you? Where are you from?
I don't know.
Where are you from?
They think they're part of the same organization. They're trying to figure out who she is and if she has a connection to this group. Maddox, on the other hand, knew nothing about these ancient synthetic group. He just created a new type of organic synthetic android. And Commodore O recruited Dr. Jurati because of a connection to Maddox. In their mind, Maddox was too dangerous, as he could in theory make more organic androids, which would be a huge threat, and it forced her to kill Maddox to stop any further creation of organic synthetic androids. And if you think about it, the writers have tried to make parallels to the modern era, so this ties perfectly into the idea of the Illuminati.
The attack on Mars. Tell me how it wasn't really the Synths. Tell me about the Conclave of 8.
And they call them the Conclave of 8. They're a secret group of people who've been trying to steer society for thousands of years.
I want no suspicions aroused. I begin producing androids carefully, selectively.
Yes, yes. No one need know. No need to frighten uninformed minds.
And Narek has been looking for the location of these ancient androids.
She knows far more than she thinks she knows.
Including the location of their homeworld.
And whether or not the ancient android group had figured out that Maddox was creating a new synthetic organic is hard to tell, but it makes sense, and they would have infiltrated his lab, in which case this could be one of the ancient androids. But either way, she does see visions of where the planet is.
I see 2 red moons, dark as blood, and lightning, so much lightning.
If you think about 2 red moons and a stormy sky, what planet could match that? And has already been a big part of the series. It's gotta be Mars. And what do we see in the trailer? A fleet of Romulan ships attacking Mars. I feel this will be the finale of the series. The Romulans will feel that Mars is the homeworld of all the androids, and they'll take a preemptive strike to attack Mars in the final episode.
Well done, little brother. I need to identify a planet with 2 red moons and constant electrical storms.
So to summarize, the theory says that there exists a secret society of synthetics that have existed for thousands of years in the shadows, who have manipulated organics. They can look like any race, and they've even taken major roles in their society. So maybe the ultimate goals of the androids are actually good, but the Romulans, with their distrustful nature and the history of Surak, are fighting against them in a secret war. So these androids have existed for thousands of years, undetected by most people. They literally could be anybody. And here's where I think that if this is true, that one of the main characters on the show has gotta be one of these androids. It could be anybody on the ship. It's just a hunch, but I'm gonna say it's Rios.
How do I smell?
Truthful. You also had some sort of smoked meat for breakfast, didn't you?
And lastly, what if they're using this story thread to also tie together Picard and Star Trek Discovery? We will see a future 900 years after Picard, and likely see the outcome of this secret war. The ancient androids could have taken over the Federation. This could be an open war now at this point. And the rebels are actually the organics, which is why the group in white appears to be from many worlds. The Starfleet operatives appear to be androids, and essentially Starfleet is now all androids, especially the new head of the Federation. So could this be what Discovery Season 3 is about? And could Season 4 even lead them travelling back in time to Picard's era to help in the fight in order to change the future? So is this a crazy idea, or does it tie everything together? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm really curious to see if you agree with this. And if you haven't already, please subscribe for more ideas, theories and speculation on all things Star Trek. So thanks for watching, and as always, Trek on.